And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is a Tuesday, March the 7th. We're counting down those days to Country Radio Seminar coming up there next week at the Omni Hotel. A big event there. A lot of great interviews set up for you guys there as we broadcast live on the YouTube channel and, of course, powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. In our off season, we do music throughout the year, and more sports coverage comes back as we get into baseball season, football, all that kind of stuff too. But as football's kind of on hiatus, I love to keep this music thing going. Which is great out there, too, as we're presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out at bangtail.com. And, of course, Easy Liquor, Total Wine and Specs in and around Nashville, too. Also, Old Red in Orlando now is where you can find those fine folks. Also, our friends over at Honky Tonk Texas and Gentle Ben Spirits, all presenting sponsors of CRS 2023. Pleased to welcome in one of my favorite artists, and I'm glad we have the chance to meet and talk about all this great music that she is putting out here. Ella Langley to the Backstage Pass. Ella, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
It's good. It's getting busy, and we're going to just keep this going for the rest of this week. And CRS is a big event,
It's a big event. The best thing about Nashville is there's always something going on. There's always a reason for traffic to suck really bad.
That's going to suck. Hey, I'm going to Uber next week and Lyft. That's
but sometimes you get in an Uber and you're like, they might kill me. I don't know. Just let's hope. Let me get to point B now.
I'm going to do that too. Like I said, it's awesome. And everything we're going to talk about today is available, guys, for download out there, streaming, and, of course, the website, ellalangley.com. I always like to put that out front in case you guys want to reference some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. All right, so I'm going to start with this because I said this is a top 10 smash hit at radio, and I love this song, and I've played it a lot that I can just memorize the lyrics. I love what you did with the song, the lyrics, the recording, the writing is fantastic. The story that it tells, Country Boy's Dream Girl. Let's start there. We'll have you play it for us. How did this come about? What was the idea behind it? And I know you guys felt like you had something special when you put it out.
So this I wrote it with Will Bundy, who's my producer, and then a guy named Smith Onquist and a guy named Aaron Ratier. And it was actually my first write with both of them. And I can't specifically, I think we stumbled upon this title. I don't think anyone had it in the room. Mm-hmm. And we wrote it. And I was like, I just need a song that is like, because I grew up in small town, South Hopewell, Alabama, South Montgomery, just tiny. And I grew up, my dad put me in jeans and boots on Saturdays, put a ball cap on me, and he's like, all right, let's do stuff. And that was my outfit, So I think that hasn't really worn off yet. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what the song is about, is like, not being afraid to, hell, I'm wearing jeans and boots right now. Being afraid to be yourself. And if somebody doesn't like that, then probably not the one for you.
I love that concept of how it came about too, no doubt. Love that song. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to have you go ahead and just turn it right around, turn it over to you, and let's play this thing. This thing is awesome, and I know you performed this so well. I love it. Guys, it's out there across all the digital platforms. Make sure you stream and download, click, and get it wherever you do. Again, this is it's been out since October, but still riding that wave of great music. It is all yours, Miss Langley. Take it away.
All right. Some boys like heels and short skirts, rooftop girls and $20 drinks. Some boys want them pretty as a picture, hanging on their arm, not saying a thing. Ooh, if that's what you're looking for, then I ain't what you're looking for. But if you want to ride real slow, wind it down the red dirt road, maybe crack a little old George Jones, something in your sweet tea, barking up the right tree. If you like a sky full of stars, you ain't gotta look too far. Love you on the back porch, kiss you on the dance floor, in a t-shirt and faded jeans. I'm a country boy's dream girl. Girls like me like to kick it on the riverbank, go out in a cowboy boots, fire in a field tailgate, 4 wheels, sixer on ice with nothing to do. Yeah, I can make your wish come true if you want it down the red dirt road. Maybe crank a little Curtis slow. Something any sweet tea, barking up the right tree. If you like a sky full of stars, you ain't gotta look too far. Love you on the back porch, kiss you on the dance floor. In a t-shirt and faded jeans, I'm a country boy's dream girl. Ooh, if that's what you're looking for, boy, I'm what you're looking for. If you want to ride real slow, wind it down the red dirt road. Maybe crank a little old George Jones. Something bitty sweet tea, barking up the right tree. If you like a sky full of stars, you ain't gotta look too far. Love you on the back porch, kiss you on the dance floor. In a t-shirt and faded jeans, I'm a country boy's dream girl. I'm a country boy's dream girl. I'm a country boy's dream girl.
That's enough said right there. That's top 10 here from the Backstage Pass. I'll give it the album single review, and I know there's more great stuff coming. I love this song, and I've told so many people about it, friends at radio, in the podcast business. Guys, get behind it. Ella Langley here on the Backstage Pass, Country Boys Dream Girl, and looking forward to, like I said, just hearing to see where that continues to have success out there. Guys, put some shows out there for Ella. You can catch her this weekend. It's Bulls, Bands, and Barrels. It's going to be featuring Trey Lewis with Ella Langley in Dothan. That's March 11th. And then March 18th, Boots in the Park in Gilbert, Arizona. Saturday, March 18th. Of course, there's a couple shows coming out there in March. For more, ellalangley.com. We got to take a quick time out here on the show. So many more singles to get to here on the Backstage Pass. I love the succession of singles that her campus put out. We'll talk more about that. Still got rapid fire coming up. Got a couple of questions in the comment box we'll get to here. More from our friends and our sponsors here that support the Backstage Pass. Hang tight, coming right back.
The Bangtail Pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show again, presenting spot.
We back.
On Hockey, Texas, and Banks, possible too. Back here on the show with Ella Langley on the Backstage Pass, the new single "Country Boys, a Dream Girl." Make sure you guys check that out across all the digital platforms. She just performed for us here on the show. So I got this feeling too, and listening to a lot of your music too, and the singles we're talking about here. You enjoyed this '90s country feel. I know when I grew up back in the day, when I was doing a lot of the DJing in radio, everybody you could think of was 90s country. Tracy Lawrence and Garth Brooks and George Strait, and the list goes on and on too. Were you influenced by that great pioneer of country music.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to a friend the other day about I had this like boom box that sat on my bathroom sink, and I could play CDs, cassettes, or just listen to the radio. So I mean, voices that I grew up on was Faith Hill, Trisha Yearwood, Gretchen Wilson, you know, I'm here for the party, or man, I feel like a woman, Shania Twain. Yeah, I mean, definitely influenced by, I would say, 90s, early 2000s, Dixie Chicks, or the Chicks, as you say.
Yeah, I agree. I'll make that mistake every time I do a show and bring them up. I love this because you're a part of this too, and we're going to talk about your Opry debut here in just a little bit, which was February 17th. But this wave of just great country music featuring some great females, Ella, this is impressive what's going on in country music right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you have somebody like Lainey Wilson or Ashley McBride, or there's so many women right now that are doing things that women have never done before and are really just standing up being like, hey, we want to sell out stadiums too. We can sell tickets. We can put on a hell of a show, not just sing pretty. So I think there's a lot more, especially I feel like in this town, there's a lot of respect for women now. And I think I think the guys are a little bit nervous about how many good their females there are right now. But
should be nervous, no doubt. Let's go back, speaking of guys, to 2020, a single, one of the guys that you guys had put out there too for your camp. And I used the word guys there a few times, no doubt. But one of the guys was the song title 2020 single. Let's talk a little backstory on that one.
Well, actually, one of the guys is I think that's the song I wrote when the first night I was in town. I wrote it with Matt McKinney and Trey Lewis, actually. And that that was kind of the music I was putting out when I first moved to town. That was like the stuff I was first writing when I was figuring out what I was doing. And I think you can kind of see it through the singles that I've done all the way from I guess one of the guys, the first one, and then Country Boy's Dream Girl being the most recent. Is there's definitely a progression of how it's changing. And then even with the singles that I've put out, I mean, we're barely dipping our toe in the water with the stuff that I have to put out, this spring. I'm excited. We're putting out a good bit of music this spring, and I'm excited for everyone to hear what we've been working on.
I can't wait for the next one too. And then also comes the song "Match Made in Heaven" too, which I was a huge fan of. Love that song too. Great tune for country music too. Let's talk about that one a little bit.
That one I also wrote with Matt McKinney and another guy named Alex Maxwell. I mean, we wrote that song in 2019, I think. Yeah. Yeah, those are songs that are kind of I feel like baby Ella artists when just moving to town. I would kind of clump Match Made in Heaven and one of the guys in that. And then I would say, what's the one that's right after that? I think maybe Damn You is kind of the first one that was, all right, I figured out how to write a song. Now I figured out what my voice is and how I want it to sound,
Well, love that too. And you got identity. You mentioned as an artist, what you want to be and kind of what you want to put out there too. Kind of what's next? You mentioned all these singles kind of coming up. There's got to be excitement in the camp here. And I want to go back to this because February 17th, Grand Ole Opry debut featuring Ella Langley. How did that sound? How did that feel?
Me and my whole team we wanted to be present for that day and just kind of, sometimes it gets so overwhelming that you kind of tune it all out. And that day, it was just a day of like, wow, like anything else could happen, but I'm going to step in the circle today. And at least I can say that I've stepped in the Grand Ole Opry circle and played music before, It was awesome. Jamie Johnson came and introduced me there, and, we've got really close when we went on tour. So having him there and him being from Montgomery, and I think I had over 100 people from Alabama come. So for them to be able to, see him, and it was just cool. It was awesome. My whole family was there. Couldn't have gone better. It was an amazing day.
I love it too. We'll go all the way to my buddy David. He's tuning in from England, all the way across the pond over there too. Ella, can you tell us about the guitar you're using and how important is the guitar to you when you're writing and performing? I love that question.
Actually, I'm very excited that this question was asked because I just bought this guitar yesterday. And this guitar is a 1957 SJ200 Gibson.
Beautiful.
It's reissued. It's it's not from 1957, but it's I made after that guitar. It's a jumbo. I love it. And the guitar that I normally use is a Gibson Hummingbird, so the red one with the birds all over it. Really bright.
I like that. It's a beautiful instrument. Thank you, David, for the question. If you got questions for Ella, leave them in the comment box. We'll get to as many as we can. Let's talk about If You Have To, which was another one you guys put out. I believe that one was 2021. Still kind of that same kind of story you were talking about. Is that kind of group with, I guess, with Damn You? And
well, If You Have To, If You Have To was that song is kind of, I think, what made people be like, all right, what's this girl doing? It kind of gave a little bit of light to what I was writing at the time and helped me get a lot of the rest of my team that I have now. That song I wrote with Ian Christian and Tranny Anderson. And actually the whole entire song is a true story. It's about, it was the guy I was dating at the time. We got into a horrible fight. And the next day he was just saying all this stuff to piss me off. And I was like, you know what? You can just hate me if you have to, because I'm just going to be this way. If you have to hate me, just hate me if you have to. And like in the middle of the argument, I'm like, that's a really good song title.
Some of the best ones.
I got to type this down before I forget.
Yep, that's kind of cool. I was going to ask you about that too. It feels like the hooks kind of, I don't want to say come easy, but it is hard being a songwriter too. For you, where did the feel come from? Where do you kind of get those hooks? And if you do, is it like more, let me grab the notes in the iPhone and just start typing, or is it a handwritten type? How do lyrics just come naturally to you?
It's different every time. Sometimes I'll be walking around the house and just singing and putting stupid lyrics to the melody. And then I'm like, wait, that melody's kind of good. And then I sing it, a voice recording, or sometimes somebody will say something and it makes me think of something else. And then I get a title out of that, or it really happens all kinds of different ways. It hits you at different moments. I have learned that write it down, because you will forget it. Write the title down, write the lyric down, because you will not remember and you will forget it. You will not remember the melody you think you're going to remember in about 5 minutes. So
it's kind of like my interview schedules. I'm always like, write it down, the time, who you have, the time. It will forget the interview schedule. I love this other one I'm going to talk about here a little bit. Hey Ma, I Made It, which, oh my God, another just terrific country song. Let's have you play another one for us right now. What do you say?
Let's do it. All right. Let's see what she do. Let's play a new one.
All right, we're good.
So this is relatively a new one. It's called Hungover. If one thing I know is I know this about you. Your eyes get me drunk longer than 100 proof. And I've been drinking too much and I need to quit it. It sucks waking up, I ain't scared to admit it. The last night I way overdid it. And yeah, I'm hungover, still a long way from sober. And damn it, I'm learning this morning, I'm learning how much that bourbon and your kiss don't lead to closure. And yeah, I'm hungover. What we've been doing ain't working at all. We say we're done, then pick up at last call. It's on again, off again, it's taking its toll. I try, but I can't seem to tell myself no. 'Cause you kiss me and I lose control. And yeah, I'm hungover, still a long way from sober. And damn it, I'm hurting this morning, I'm learning how much that bourbon and your kiss don't lead to closure. And yeah, I'm hungover. Ooh. It's on again, myself no. So yeah, I'm hungover, still a long way from sober. And damn it, I'm hurting this morning. I'm learning how much that bourbon in your kids don't lead to closure. And yeah, I'm hungover. Yeah.
I get so caught up listening to her sing, I just forget to come back on the screen there. That's how the show works here on the Backstage Pass. Or is it a preview of what's to come now? The rest of this weekend, next week to CRS.
Yeah.
There's some surprises here, but she takes my breath away when she sings. I'm not afraid to admit that to it. If you want to catch her out there, if I was in the area, Saturday, March 11th, I'd be in Dothan. Bulls, Bands, and Barrels, featuring Trey Lewis, another great artist out there too, with Ella and Tristan Baugh. And then Boots in the Park, Saturday, March 18th in Gilbert, Arizona. Make sure you check out those dates, EllaLangley.com. And, of course, go get the stream, your stream on out there, Country Boys Dream Girl. Let's take a dream time out here. We need to do that. Pay some bills here on the show. Come back more with Ella Langley. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the big song, Hey Ma, I Made It. We always like to tell our mother that too as well. She has made it. One of Nashville's top artists now, no doubt. Quick time out here. It is the Backstage Pass. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. I got to ask there, because who's that beautiful guest in the background there? I love that. That pup is right there, too.
Oh, this?
Look at that.
This guy?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Who is that?
This is Crew. He's my pride and joy. He takes after me and everything, especially looks.
Look at that.
Especially being disobedient sometimes. No, this is my guy.
That's your guy right there, no doubt, and I love it. What breed? What breed is he?
He's a Boykin Spaniel.
Boykin Spaniel, beautiful, beautiful dog. I'll tell you. Yeah, I got two of them too. And like I said, I'm trying to give one away. No, I'm just kidding. I've got a husky and I've got a red golden retriever. That two of my best friends here, and I always say, but that's good. You're a dog mom, but you know what though? He's well taken care of, though. And we're all a little disobedient.
Yeah, well, he's pretty good. I would say he's actually very good. It's like this is dog training is a little bit of my hobby. I would say. During COVID, I figured out how to groom him, so that's another thing that I do.
One thing I hate doing is grooming dogs, but I will say, you know what though? You're an expert at two things that I'm not when it comes to dog training and grooming.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm an expert now, but his hair is cut.
His hair is cut. That's all that matters.
Shorter than it was.
Sure. Look at that, giving you kisses already too. Let's talk about the other one. Hey Ma, Made It, because beautiful single cover. Man, just awesome song. What can I say?
That song it's a joke that I used to text my mom, because I before I even moved to Nashville, what I started out doing was playing gigs every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, bars, restaurants, college bars. I mean, you name it, I've played it. And And I had a band the whole time, so sometimes I'd be acoustic, sometimes it was full band. And my mom's only request was just to let her know when I got there. And it really ticks your mom off if you don't do it, no matter how old you get. She just really wants to know if I've made it. So iPhone, thank God that you can see now my pin. She has my location, so it's fine. But so I'd always text her. I'd say, "Hey, Mom, I made it. Hey, Mom, I made it." And one day I brought that title into a ride. I wrote it with Mark Addison Chandler and Davis Corley, and I was like, I have this idea, and it's kind of how I want to write it. So we wrote it, and I think I wrote that song. I wrote that song probably two years ago. So a minute before I put it out.
I love it too, and that's just how the the great writing comes together too. And it's made some just great music you're putting out there too. I know you guys again are excited about 2023 and just how hot things are right now for your camp too. And the growth is amazing. Like I've seen the growth over the last few years, but for you, do you feel like it's just kind of like a whirlwind? It's coming so fast, and it's just every day. I mean, people know your name, they know who you are, all the public relations stuff. I mean, you got to be excited. You're working with a great team right now too. Let's give them credit.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain because in some ways it feels like, how did I trick all these people into this? Like, how do I have this massive team now? And it started out with just me and my mom on the computer making a Facebook page. So, I mean, some days I wake up, I'm like, is this really my life? And then some days I'm like, wow, I'm tired. Tired. But, everyone on my team, we all kind of have the same idea. And I've been really careful and specific about who I've added into that team and kind of made sure that everyone has the same mentality of like pour more gasoline on the fire at all times. And we are, and a lot of things have been behind the scenes recently, so it might have looked like we weren't working, but we've been working our tails off. And these next few months are about to be a big few months, so we're excited.
I can't wait for that too. And of course, the new music comes out. We'll have you back on it. We'll do a lot more with playing, picking, singing, talking, all the good stuff that we do here on the Backstage Pass. All right, I'm gonna hit you with a little rapid fire because I love doing this. It's always fun to just have fun, get to know you more on a personal basis. All right, for me, it's been a couple of shows. I'm getting into this one called The Last of Us, which is HBO's big.
I love that show. That's what I'm watching.
Okay, I was gonna say binge watching. Is that? And then the other one for me is Your Honor. It's on Showtime.
Also, what is it called? Daisy Jones and the Six. It's based off a book that is somewhat based off of Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, but not completely. Anyways, phenomenal.
I need to. Okay, another one I need to put on the list and check that one out too. All right, Ella's favorite food in Nashville when you like to go out. What do you like? What restaurant? Or restaurants?
There's a Cinco de Mayo right down the street from my house that is a crowd favorite, so I'm going to go with that.
Okay. My dad keeps telling me, he said, you got to go to the Hacienda Riviera for Richard's place. Yeah. Is it the talk of the town? Is it good?
I don't know. The one down the street from me is way better, I think.
Then I may have to do that then. But I will get my hot chicken on.
Favorite Mexican restaurants, like kind of a touchy subject because everyone has their own favorite,
I like that. Now I got to get my Hattie B's. I didn't get it last year. This year I'm getting it.
Is good. It's hot. If you get hot, they mean business on hot. They mean that.
They mean that too. And I'm also going to get since you played it in February, I'm going to stick on the 5th. I'm going to get my Opry next Wednesday night too. I've never been, but I'm going to buy my ticket, sit up there, and just really enjoy that too. All right, favorite cartoons growing up. What'd you get into?
Dexter, Courage the Cowardly Dog, SpongeBob, big fan. Powerpuff Girls. I think those are my cartoons.
I remember you said that title, Powerpuff Girls. Used to watch that too. Still on.
Do you know that Powerpuff Girls and not Powderpuff? My whole life I've said Powderpuff, but it's actually Powerpuff.
It's power. See, I did not know that. You cleared that up for me. I would say like you, powder is what I would say.
I'm going to still say powder because that's how they. That's how you. That's one of those Mandela effect things.
I love it. Other hobbies outside of music, what do you enjoy?
Hunting, fishing, anything outside.
That's right there. Any good deer hunting over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, I just killed a buck. I killed a nice 8-point this past year. I got all the meat in my freezer right now.
That's the way to do it. For me, it's been since 18, the fall of 18. Got a beautiful Axis.
Do it again. If you do it, you'll get hooked.
It's a part of it too. That was a nice shot. Didn't think at first you'd ever think you get them, and then they rattle around a little bit until they fall, and it's
and then they die, and then you got them.
And you got them. You bag them too, no doubt. That's just good there. Well, I tell you what, this is now. I got to ask you about this before I go because I had a good pizza place when I was there last year. Forgot the name of it offhand, but I'm sure. What's your favorite pizza place to go to in Nashville?
This is confusing, but very big difference. There is a Sal's, and then there is a Salvo's. Okay. Either is good. One is better. Can't decide.
Can't decide. Okay.
But Sal's or Salvo's, very good.
Sal's or Salvo's. Okay, I got to do that. All right, let's say Ella won the one of the big lotteries out there tomorrow. What's the first thing she'd do with the money?
Oh, I'd buy a lot of land, and I'd put a nice house on it and buy lots of horses and chickens.
I love it. Farm girl.
Tour bus. I would buy a tour bus is what I would do.
Tour bus to get around. Well, I tell you what, she's a country boy's dream girl, and I'll tell you what, she's on her way to superstardom again. Things are happening real fast. Check out the single if you haven't already across all the digital platforms, and make sure you guys go check out the website, ellalangley.com. The tour dates, again, Bulls, Bands, and Barrels, featuring Trey Lewis and Tristan Ball in Dothan this Saturday. Of course, that's when we fly into Nashville for CRS too, but check her out if you're in Dothan. And then Gilbert, Arizona, Boots in the Park, Saturday, March 18th there. Ella, we appreciate the time here on the show. Looking forward to connecting again, and I cannot wait to come to one of these live shows one day and show our support from us to you.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here.
You got it. One of the best out there, Ella Langley here tomorrow. Of course, we got a surprise show. 2 more. We round out our trip to Nashville. Kate Boytek coming on. And then Thursday, we're going to throw a little blast from the past. Jason Michael Carroll here on the Backstage Pass on Thursday. Looking forward to that. And of course, next week, about 60 shows we're going to put out in a matter of 4 days. I'm going to be tired. I'm probably going to need to take a few naps in Nashville while I'm there too, as well. Sponsored by Bangtail Whiskey, Gentle Ben Spirits, and our friends over at Honky Tonk, Texas. I'm going to be tired next week, Ella, so I've got to get some rest.
Hey, welcome to it. Nashville, you're tired. That's the thing. You're just tired. Get used to it.
Get used to it, no doubt. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the show about 4:30, and, of course, Thursday. Until then, take care and have a terrific night.